It's been a while, punters and dribblers, but we are back, and here's a quick look at copper. We quickly went through oil and natural gas and the S&P futures. Why copper, you ask? Well, it seems to be the only thing up today, so let's have a look at why. It had a strong week last week. It was up 2% when the complex was actually down last week, the commodity complex, if you want to look at the CRB or the Bloomberg. So why is that? Well, here we're looking at our overall rise and fall charts, which we basically keep for gold, oil, and copper, being the three dominant commodities outside of grains. So we can see, if we look back, the main themes of it: supply crunch, COVID, right, panic, stimulus. Nothing's really changed, right? So let's look at where we are today. So you can see already on this week, coming in Tuesday, we are higher. While if you looked at our natural gas earlier, that was down like 8% today. Oil was down today as well. And gold was at, I think it was a 2-month low. So if we look at this and we can see what happened, technically, we did a false spit of the tanking and we're back up here. So why is it going up when everything else is falling? Well, part of it is this, is that the hopes are there for China to recover. And you may ask, well, isn't that on everything? Well, that is holding oil up as well, right? So we do have like that, and we do have that going on like oil. And we do have, if we look at last week, and I'll slide this across. This is the weekly, we do this every week, commodity trading. So, yeah, last week we know natural gas was flat, but no surprise there, right? So copper again recovered after a few weeks down to be up 2.75%. But look at what I noticed out of the ones that were up: coffee, cocoa, copper, pigs or lean hogs. They're all kind of things we use, right? They're real, if you will. VIX was up there again, which showed you there's a bit of fear coming back into the market, right? Which is interesting. VIX was up, DAX was up, Euro Stocks was up, and Russell. So you can give an idea when you look at who's down, usual people. So we do a thing on copper on here as well. So you can see all the other metals where we are on copper. So copper on the week, last week, was up 2.7%. You can see everything other than steel and iron ore out of the heavier metals was down, right? Here's the other thing I want you to know. So copper was up. One of them is it's involved in the transition products, right? So copper, you think in the old days was all copper pipes and stuff, but it's very much in infrastructure, and in that titanium, obviously, more we're getting into more the rare earth type of stuff, but it's also very particular. And so the cathode prices are going up. Even despite, so there's news coming out of China, yes, the traffic's up, but it came from nothing, but there's still nothing really positive coming out there. It's really in a bit of a civil disarray there. But you had the compulsory COVID lockdown, then Xi kind of panicked out of it for civil unrest, etc., right? So you can go through here and see all the reasons why it's up and down. We know, we're familiar with, we haven't been on for a while, but the output problems that are going on Peru and other places around the world. So a lot of big shops have put out big bullish signals. I think Goldman's one of them. It's all on here. Go through that. Do yourself a favor, go read it. And keep an eye on the storage. So last week, it's been a couple of weeks now, is the Shanghai copper warehouse stocks have been going back up. So perhaps people got short on that, not sure. But what we do know is the price is going up, right? So read through that, keep an eye on all that. Now, we did have Angustar, I can never say that words, earnings today. And part of what stood out to me at least, was that their inventory or their stocks are lower because production's lower, right? So it's Antofagasta. So you should know all about that if you trade copper. So their profit was down 26%, but it was mainly because of production. So they're down in Chile, or Chile, however you want to pronounce it. It was down 10%. So what does that mean? So that's all relevant to what you're looking at supply, right? So it all comes down to that. And that's what makes it relevant to all that, okay? So let's break this down a little bit. That's your background. Obviously, it's a lot to do with China in particular improving, and the political situations in Peru, Chile, etc. Okay, let's break this down into a shorter time frame. So you can see on a daily chart, wow, I haven't looked at this for a while, so on this daily, so we can see it as it evolves. You can see it's a very volatile commodity. And it tends to, when it tends to go one way. So you can see when it broke a few levels here. But look at it. It's just one you can nearly always pull back if you miss it. So look at this run here. 405 to 414. You can see how it pulled back to the breakdown level. You can see here how it pulled back to the breakdown level. Okay? Very clever. Careful to watch. Also watch the 50. What's interesting, it's spat here, which means people got short. That's why I mentioned earlier. Perhaps they're short. It looks to me like the market got short on those supply, and that CAFOL news outweighed it. So the market was, supply, the storage over in Shanghai. And you can see how it's bounced it off those levels. So if we look at the hourly, you can see what we're above. If we go back to our daily, you can see what we're breaking, right? So that's our support now, right? This Cajun, the pink line here, and our key test, because this was our old sphere of influence, is going to be this breakdown line, right? Which is basically that high. So that's what you want to watch. We're all around is 430, which is plus 2.8. So we know we're overbought, and we only got down here to 4.8. So that's pretty. So we went 4.8 to 2.8, but we only corrected almost 3.8. So your move, even if it breaks here, is probably going to be limited to there initially, right? And look where that is. So remember, a lot of commodities repeat because there could be hedging levels there, trap levels, and all that. So there we have it on copper. If you trade copper, you may trade the futures, you may trade FCX. Just keep alert to all that, how you're trading it, and don't be these guys. Okay, thank you for listening. Trade smart, and if you like what we're doing, hit the subscribe button, share it, and I'll try and do a few more of these. Okay, thank you for listening.